Welcome to the Roar Room, truth on the mic. Healing the soul, we rise and ignite. Mind, body, spirit aligned in the flame. Roar Room tribe, we roar in our name. The Roar Room, our tribe, our truth. The lights dim, the air shifts, and every heartbeat in this room starts to sink like a drum, calling its people home.
Turn it on.
We are the ones who rise when the world gets loud. We are the ones who speak when silence tries to swallow us whole. We are the ones who walk in with fire in our chests and purpose in our bones. This is our tribe, the ones who refuse to shrink, the ones who choose courage over comfort, the ones who know that truth isn't whispered, it's roared. So step in, stand tall, let the world hear what it tried to quiet. Because in this space, in the Roar Room, we don't hide who we are. We don't dim our light. We don't apologize for our power. We speak, we rise, we roar. Our tribe, our truth.
And there we go. Welcome to the War Room, May 15, 2026. Everybody's enjoying their day, their Friday. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? How are you doing, Miss Nadine?
We're good. I share it out. I share this room out 5 times during the music. It gets, yeah, I know, but it's something else. I get, I'm like, oh man, I didn't get that comment. I didn't get that comment. And people have a hard time sharing it out once and liking. I go back, I throw
I
it,
know.
like it and share it 5 times because
Oh gosh.
I have to go to Rumble and YouTube and now Facebook.
Yeah.
So you know what? I like having them on my account so that I can go any day and be able to go grab them if I want them quick. So, you know,
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna get the party started. Not everybody. Just wait till the people who wanted to be left alone get involved. There we go. Oh, that's that mega. Y'all seen the new White House comms today? Oh, here they are. Hold on, let me pull it up. This was a little weird. Where was it at? This was posted by the White House. Here we go. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. That was posted by the White House. Iced out.
Yeah.
wow. What is that? Oh, is that's one of those little bracelets that Obama gave Biden or Biden gave Obama or whatever?
The Medal of Freedom.
No, that
No.
the thing with the little letters on it above the tattoo, below the silver thing.
That is, babe.
I have to blow
Above.
this up.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to. No, no.
I
So
don't
no,
see it.
no, that has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
It's what the White House posted with the MAGA chain.
Is it a mac and cheese?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh.
See it on the camera, dude. MAGA. That's what they posted. I don't know what the hell
What
that.
does it mean?
Yeah, MAGA,
Because
MAGA
he
chain.
said changing ice to nice, right?
Well, iced out means like a bunch of diamonds and shit on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's diamonds when you blow it up.
What they say, return the diamonds.
Return our gold, bitch.
Right? Right? Well, Trump went to see Xi Jinping, right? Xi Jinping's considered the dragon, right? You go into all the different movies, like the Hobbits and stuff like that. The dragon always hoards all the gold. Yeah, something to do with that as well.
Shit show is all I can say.
Oh my goodness. He's
Just
one of those guys that has to take his pants off. I've known guys like that had to take their pants off. Like,
That's so funny.
all right, so we're gonna get this party started tonight. Let's get it started here. All right, here we go. So this is from Sensor Receptor Source Video. It's coming out of Kentucky. All right, I'll give you their link. All right, so we're talking about top data centers, right? Hot topic. What else is the other word for it? Fusion centers.
It originally was fusion centers, which is surveillance, but they had to change the name to data centers. Fusion centers was more accurate.
Right, that's like the flock safety.
Yeah.
Instead of saying flock surveillance,
Yes.
they didn't say it's for your safety.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what a lot of people don't know, and this is directly related to data centers, is that Thomas Massie holds a very high-ranking seat on the Judiciary Committee. If he loses his election, then the state of Kentucky loses that seat, and we lose his position to effect change through the Judiciary Committee. Well, 2 weeks ago, in Judiciary, there was a very quiet introduction of a bill that was about to pass unanimously. Both sides of the aisle were paid to pass this bill, and it was the Protect American AI Act, I think. And he single-handedly killed this bill
Wow.
that was granting immunity to data center developers for any harm they cause your community.
Unbelievable.
That was going to happen 2 weeks ago, and Thomas Massie killed that bill.
Crazy.
And nobody knows. There's not a single article anywhere written about that. Well, who do we think paid to make sure nobody knew? Data centers are a flash in the pan, hot button issue right now. They do not want anyone knowing that he killed that bill. There is nobody that believes that a data center should be able to build across the street, destroy my home values, destroy my water table, maybe poison my children, and I shouldn't be able to sue to hold them accountable. Well, what
Right, and it's funny they call it Save America. Hold on, let's play this. What do they call it?
do data center developers for any harm they cause your community?
Unbelievable.
That was going to happen 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and Thomas Massie killed that bill.
All right.
Crazy.
And nobody knows. There's not a single article anywhere written about that. Well, who do we think paid to make sure nobody knew? And it was the Protect American AI Act.
Protect American AI Act. So they phrase it like that, so it sounds like you're protecting America if you vote on that bill. Right?
Yes.
Fuck the people, right? Screw the people and what they got going on in our health and well-being and pursuit of happiness. Right? Screw our houses, just demolish those because they're in the way. But we want to protect America AI Act. Right? Just like the Genius Act. It's like the opposite. It's like the Save America bill, right?
And there's a video on that. Yeah. It shows you.
So I wonder who would want to stop that bill.
It's
I
this
don't know.
video right here. can read it, and it tells you
Send it to
what
me.
the infusion centers are.
Yeah, send it to me.
That's what they were originally called, infusion
Right.
centers.
So they wanted qualified immunity?
Yep.
Let's go back.
Directly related to data centers is that Thomas Massey holds a very high ranking seat on the Judiciary Committee. If he loses his election, then the state of Kentucky loses that seat and we lose his position to effect change through the Judiciary Committee. Well, 2 weeks ago in Judiciary, there was a very quiet introduction of a bill that was about to pass unanimously. Both sides of the aisle were paid to pass this bill, and it was the Protect American AI Act, I think.
You're protecting America if you pass these bullshit bills. You see the mind screwing they do? The reverse psychology?
Yeah.
You're un-American if you don't want this. Is that a video?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you got to stop and read it.
Hey.
It talks about the infusion centers.
All right. So you're gonna read about the infusion centers. Where did it go?
It was at the bottom.
I know. I keep downloading it. And it's MIA. Oh, okay. It's a little weird. Let me go to banners over here. Media, see if I can't upload it to this. There it is. All right. Okay.
Disappeared.
There it is. Now it pops up. Mega. My Mega.
They had to rename the fusion centers to data centers so the peasants wouldn't figure out what they're doing.
So there. How about that?
Yeah, we figured it out amongst all the distractions, right? Left and right. So here it is. Fusion Center, state-owned, operated hubs that collaborate with federal, local, and private sector partners to gather, analyze, and share threat-related information. And you're a threat, America. You're the enemy of the state. We are the enemy of the state.
Just like that movie. Right?
Yeah. Once you figure that out, then you really see the silent war that's taking place on you, and you quit with all the left-right bullshit.
Yeah, because it's awful.
It's all bullshit.
And they're at the top.
So they function as central points for preventing terrorism. Wank, wank. Wank, wank. We're preventing terrorism. Wank, wank. Uh-huh. We just couldn't prevent it when the buildings fell, right? Wank, wank. Uh-huh. Preventing it. Haha. Come on. Right? Oklahoma City bombing. Yeah, we're preventing that one too. Right? They're not preventing shit. They allow things to happen to shift the narrative to bring in further, more tyrannical laws, Patriot Act, Homeland Security, et cetera, et cetera. So they aren't preventing any crimes. This is the thought police. All right, they function as a central point preventing terrorism and all crimes or all hazards events by bridging information gaps between different law enforcement agencies. So they're going to make them all one. Your local law enforcement is now working with the federal government. Your sheriff's supposed to keep the federal government out of your communities, but that's, you got a bunch of, I don't know how to say it. The sheriffs that you have today aren't worth a shit. No backbone. Them pensions, man, they'll sell you down to up the creek for them pensions. They want to retire and go, and then when they get done, terrorizing your community, they want to go to Hawaii, Costa Rica, Brazil, South America, Hawaii,
They get huge,
and party it up.
Huge pensions.
Yeah, you would think that they'd want to live in the community that they built.
They don't.
No.
They leave.
Yeah.
They leave.
Yeah, they leave.
They
Yeah, 'cause
leave
they're
the
gonna
community.
get beat like a little.
Well, because after you terrorize the community for so long and then you retire and you're no longer protected by the badge,
Yeah, they'll treat you different.
They take off. Oh yeah. Oh hey, Billy.
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
a sudden we're friends again, like high school buddies and shit. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them leave. A lot. That's what I know. I talked to a few of my neighbors. They're law enforcement. And as soon as they get their pension, they're out of here. They're going like South America. They already got their plans in order.
Hawaii, stuff like that.
Hawaii, yeah, get away from here. Right? Can't show your face. Ah, but not all of them. Not all are like that, but most. Not all, but most. So why do they need so many data centers? You think? Why do they need so much of this, guys? Is it for our safety?
It's not for our cloud, for the cloud. It's not for, like, we've had that stuff for a long time, over 20 years, right?
You know, I'm out here on this job site and I was just sitting there thinking, I'm not saying that they're building data centers to roll out the social credit scores and mass surveillance. I'm not saying that. I guess what I'm questioning is, and I guess what I'm saying is, I don't think they would need all these data centers to run ChatGPT and Grok and Claude and those sorts of things. I don't think you would need this many data centers to do that. But if you did want to roll out a social credit system, if you did want mass surveillance, if you did want to, digitally control everybody, then you would need a lot of data centers. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Something to think about.
Talk, you talking?
Yeah, just unmute me whenever you see that.
Yeah, Trump took all the big tech companies with him to China.
All right, I got to start over because we were muted.
That whole time?
Well, she just, yeah.
Oh,
So after that was, let me go back and play
Oh,
this
Lord.
again. Because I want to nail this. I want to hit this home. Let me. So I think he's right. And then we look at the movements of what we've seen, of what we've seen this weekend or this week. Sorry, I said that again. With all the corporate clowns going to China.
Job site and I was just sitting there thinking, I'm not saying that they're building data centers to roll out the social credit scores and mass surveillance. I'm not saying that.
But it sure looks like that.
I'm not saying that.
I'm
but
not. I'm not saying that.
in words.
But China's social credit system is a government framework to access trustworthiness, combining financial, legal, medical, and behavioral data. But there is no single unified score for all citizens. So this is the system where they do the broad governance strategy designed to track and evaluate the trustworthiness of individuals, businesses, and government institutions. It integrates financial credit data, regulatory compliance records, and behavioral assessments to encourage lawful and social trustworthy quote unquote behavior while penalizing non-compliance. Oh, you didn't get that vaccine? Oh, that's non-compliance. The system is not a single nationwide numerical score, rather it consists of multiple regional and sectorial programs including blacklist, red list, and corporate credit ratings.
Right?
Gotta find this picture.
So that's what was the rest? The system draws on information from traffic police, banks, courts, and local communities and allows for appeals or corrections through official channels like Credit China website.
Yeah, so this is the people he took: Larry Finkel, Einhorn,
Right?
Tim Cook, Elon Musk, right? All the heads. Citibank, Cargill, that's our groceries. Cargill, number 6 on there. You don't see that?
Yep.
You wonder why your groceries are so high? Look into Cargill.
Yeah, it's the corporations.
It doesn't matter who your president is.
Like the farmers, I watched the thing today on the farmers. They're talking about that they're lying to about what's happening with them, and they're being bought out by these. They're being swallowed up by these companies, right? We were talking about the dairy, the meat, the everything. They want to merge them into these mega corporations, buy out all the farmers. I think that's why they said the Nasara was for the farmers, maybe later on, because that starts all the way back to when you go read Fruit from a Poisonous Tree. Talks about how they were fighting for that a long way back. I forget when it was, back in the 90s, I think, um, or maybe even before that. But they were fighting to get the payback for the farmers, and they still haven't got anything. Now they're just trying to be bought up and swallowed up. Because they were saying that Trump was saying that he was for the farmers. Well, they're not feeling that, right? At all. Um, there's like a lot going on. There's a lot of weather events towards Ohio, Michigan, stuff like that. Um, it's kind of unusual. Keeps getting hit in the same spots, isn't it, right? We watched a storm chaser the other day who showed these huge tornadoes, but it's mostly hitting in the rural areas, which is where that's where they want those great big data centers in the rural areas. So I wonder if it has something to do with that. But there was something that happened that they said it was, where was it? In Montana? I mean, no, Colorado. That there was snow in May, right? But it was something to do with the water. I have to find the video.
Yeah, the water being able to go down and
Yeah,
replenish
replenish it. Yes,
because it was a
so
drought, maybe.
it was that was actually a good thing that happened.
Right, because when the snow melts.
Yes. So there's good things, and there's not so good things happening at the same time.
Yeah. So, like we said, they brought all those clowns with them to China, right? To pitch something to China for to do business with who? Us? With our data, with our information.
I don't know.
So they want to. Do you think they want to use the same thing that they're using in China on us?
A social credit score,
Yeah.
possibly. I mean, think about that. And that I mean, Trump was praising how their system is works so well, and their
Yeah, he ruled with an iron
citizens are
fist.
so well behaved.
He ruled with an iron fist.
Yeah.
You know the real cost of these data centers? Check this out.
Fighting it tooth and nail for a year.
This is huge.
It's huge.
So I went out to meet Ron Morgan. He lives right next to a planned AI data center in Bessemer, Alabama. It's a suburb of Birmingham.
There's no way in the world that they're going to find a flat spot out there to build one building, let alone 18.
He said this land that you see, a lot of it's going to have to be destroyed.
Every bit of it. All the trees will be gone. The rocks will be gone.
And for those that care about nature, this is the true cost of an AI data center.
They're going to have to flatten. They keep saying 100 acres. Wrong. You've got 18 buildings that total 103 acres. You've got 2 substations that are as big as 2 of these buildings. You've got generator pads. You've got fuel storage facilities, roads, and parking lots. So you're looking at probably 200 to 300 acres that they're going to have to destroy. We've got a lawsuit pending against it for an arbitrary and capricious zoning ordinance change. They've got deep pockets. I mean, they can buy off any official in the state. I mean, there's no moratorium on graft and corruption in the state of Alabama. This is the new gold rush. Everybody wants a piece of a data center because it's millions of dollars.
The gold data is the new gold.
In tax revenue and millions of dollars into the pocket of the guy who owns the data center, but it doesn't help anybody.
What's your message to other people who are going through something like this?
Fight it early and fight it often. I mean, once they get their shovel in the ground, there's nothing you can do about it.
All right, 5 by 5. Fight it early and fight it often.
Yes.
All right, because this is going to be used against you. You just don't see it right now.
Right.
They're thinking 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years in advance. They need to start now on something that they plan to flourish in 2030, 2035. Right? We got the cube, Y2Q is coming up, 2035. Right? Quantum
They've
computing.
been working to hurry up and get done before, because otherwise it's susceptible to hackers, like big time. But did they say by 2030?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is a big deal. This affects left and right. This isn't a political. This isn't a.
It's not, doesn't take sides.
Right. This is what do they call it? Bipartisan issue.
Right. They have an agenda, and it's for themselves, right? And people are fighting back these, but they're showing up and they're listening, but they're not listening.
Oh, but they're going to listen. When the people wake up.
That's why I said we need huge amounts. Maybe go to other towns. The other towns go to town and show up, because it needs to be larger, I think.
Hello, my name is Ansley. I live in Coweta County, Georgia. We are Noonan, Sharpsburg, Grantville, Moreland, little bit all together there in Coweta County. I wanted to come on here today and talk about something that happened with my TikTok account. So I made 2 videos talking about how Georgia Power is taking families' homes and properties against their will. One of those being my own family. I have a personal connection to this story, which is why it's so important to me personally. Although nobody in this town wants a damn data center, our commissioners still approved it. So therefore, Georgia Power is using easement rights to force.
Somebody took the money. Somebody took the money, honey. Uh-oh. They said, screw the voters. Screw the people of the counties. We're going to take this money. We've been doing this shit for decades. Ain't nobody stopped us. Why are they going to stop us on these data centers?
That's right.
Still approved it. So therefore, Georgia Power is using easement rights to force homeowners, longtime homeowners, old homeowners, into selling their family properties and their family homes so they can be torn down and power lines be extended to support these data centers. This is wrong on so many levels, but when I made these videos to speak out against it, TikTok banned my videos. They said that they're a violation of community guidelines. I never violated any community guidelines. I only came on here to tell the truth about what's happening in Coweta County, Georgia. This is happening to at least 30 people. Some of them are elderly, cannot handle this on their own. Some of these people have families. Some of these properties have been passed down by generation to generation. This is not an option for Coweta County homeowners. This is something they are being forced to do, even though there are many petitions and other things in place trying to make this stop. Our commissioners still approve these projects. It's wrong. And I feel like people should know that in America, you do not have the right to your land. You do not have the right to your property. They can come and take that from you, and there will be nobody there to help you. And when you speak out against it online, they'll ban your videos. They'll block you. They'll threaten to take away your whole entire account. There is no freedom of speech. There is no protection of property. It doesn't make any sense. And people should know about this. That's all I have to say.
That's what they did with the railroads, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, people probably did want the railroads. I can't see taking somebody's property. I mean, they need to just pick their house up because they don't own the land anyway.
Yeah, right.
I can't see why you would, people would be okay with somebody. But I've seen it on, when I was watching Westerns, I've seen the shows when they would take the property away for the railroads. and people
Oh.
just didn't stand up because they wanted the railroad. So it's like, no, you can't just stand up when it's convenient.
Right? I mean, some people are, they think this data center stuff's great. It's the future, right? It's gonna be, we're going on into new heights. Fourth industrial, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But some people, they say some people really like it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If Why do they need so many data centers if AI and all these other Rock and all these other AI platforms are already running?
Yeah.
What are the data centers for then? I mean, to quit calling them data centers and calling them fusion centers was the surveillance centers.
Right.
This is for their system, right? This is for the New World Order, the um, social credit score, thought police, all that shit, everything.
They want to be able to go
Look at the
back.
people investing in it. These aren't holy people. These people weren't sent by God to save us. Okay, more like enslave us, but to keep you divided so that you never come together and stop it. You can't see the beast system coming, fixing to slap you, and you know all about the mark of the beast, but when it's right in your face, you have no clue what the hell you're looking at.
That's right.
It's crazy. It's like everybody's talking about the end times, but they're damn sure ignoring the elephant in the room, right? The golden calf, so to speak. Some people call it the golden calf. It's somebody's golden calf.
Yeah,
But then when we look at
they want to be able to go back and get you for shit that you've done in the past too.
Yeah.
I don't know what the time limits are on, like, they'll change the time limits on how far back they can go and stuff.
Well, they said, now, I don't know if this is true, but they said they would not go past 10 years. Whatever you've done within the last 10 years would be towards what. So if you've been good the last 10 years, I guess you're okay.
Look, if you've never been in Facebook jail, you'll be fine.
I've been in all sorts of Facebook.
If you've been in Facebook jail before, then you probably are going to have some issues.
Right.
Yeah, I'm starting out in negative territory. I know it.
You're already in the hole.
Yeah, I'm already in the hole.
Yeah. You're already on the list.
I'm gonna have to go live with somebody.
Santa Claus isn't coming by at all for a few.
I mean, I see a lot of people are moving a lot of their stuff onto Patreon as an alternative if they start censoring really bad. Rumble's been pretty good. I know YouTube, we might not be able to stay on YouTube because it depends on if they start censoring really bad. It's, that's ridiculous. So we'll have, and then Facebook will probably start tightening up on that too. So might do Patreon and we'll see how Rumble goes. I don't know. We're trying to find a website where we could do it from the website. We played with a couple of them, but they didn't have what we needed to go live. We could only upload, which we want to go where we can go live and uninterrupted, right? So we're working on that.
I'm just not a website builder type person, right? So if there's somebody out there that knows how to build websites, I know there's some.
Yeah,
we got a few writers.
We could use some help.
We got a few people that can write.
Yes.
But let's get back to the topic at hand here. You see the guy, Shark Tank, right? What do sharks do? Right? We all seen what's that movie? Jaws.
Jaws.
We all seen Jaws. That's pretty much what we're seeing here, right? So they not only eat humans, but they devour. These people are like, you see the black hat on him, right? And then look at his what shoes he's wearing, Nadine.
I know.
I know.
The thing I watched.
He just got a petty.
I watched these
Those are petty
girls
sandals.
because he dogged these girls that were he called them stupid.
He called them Chinese infiltrators.
Yeah, and Chinese infiltrators. And then they dogged him so hard, and they were like, "Well, at least I wasn't sitting there, my short ass, wearing pink slippers."
He's on Fox News talking to to the older of the boomers is what they is. It's Fox News boomers, CNN, because it's the older generation who watch all that shit, right? But he's in his sandals,
Pink.
He's got pink flip flops.
pink flip flops on,
And they said he's like really, really short.
and he wants to take your land.
He's real
Yeah,
tiny
well-
and short.
This is the definition of a beta male if I ever seen one on camera, and the alpha males are allowing this shit to take place.
Right,
Yeah,
and he
that's
acts
what
like-
I'm not getting. I'm not getting that at all.
I don't get
he
that
acts
either.
all tough, and they said he's really little.
Look, his cutout's
It's
shorter
that
than
short man syndrome.
his cutout's taller than him.
Right?
Look at his cutout in the corner. He thinks so much of himself that he's got his own self cut out in the corner.
I know.
Look, he just sits in front of a TV screen and lies to you. And he's scared of two American women. And I think that's awesome. What does that tell you?
Oh yeah.
It's the people they
They
fear.
dogged him hard.
It's the people. If they didn't fear these two women or two Americans, they wouldn't come out and do this. What they're doing here,
Yeah,
they'd have to win the narrative war with this.
He was calling them Chinese infiltrator, and they were like, "Oh well, where's my paycheck? I haven't got no paycheck for that."
Yeah, where's my paycheck, Xi Jinping?
Yeah.
Strategies, also a cell operating inside of Utah. Gabby Finlayson. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you?
Well, hi, hello. It's me, Gabby Finlayson. What am I doing? Apparently, we've reached the part of the Stratos data center journey where Kevin O'Leary goes on national Fox News to accuse us of being cells for the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, who would want us to stop building our electrical grid? Which adversary would want that? There's only one. It's China. So what I think is happening, and I got my guys to go a deep dig into the IP addresses, and here's what we found out. This is fascinating. We found 2 cells inside of Utah. Elevate Strategies. Gabby Finlayson. Gabby, what are you doing? And who's paying you? So what I'm doing right now is, after getting this data, I'm calling out Gabby, operating in Utah.
So, hi, Kevin. We are Elevate Strategies. This is Utah. You might not know it because you're from Canada. This is where we live. Before we get into anything too serious, this is the very scary, very intimidating man that is threatening us. We are not taking the criticism of anyone who is wearing flip-flops.
Oh no! Look at them toes. He got some girl feet.
They're laughing at him.
He must have just got his nails did.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that crazy? He's on Fox News, and these people are in their underwear sometimes.
Yeah,
I
remember
guarantee you, they put on a suit top and they go in front of the camera and they could be in their pajamas.
Who's that guy on CNN?
Yeah, he was in his
He was
underwear.
in his boxers, and then he had
was
like a
on his
jacket,
yeah,
like a
his
dress
button
suit
up.
on.
He had a blue button up and he was in his boxers.
Yeah.
And he was on doing CNN.
Oh, that was that.
Remember during
Stelter
COVID?
guy. A Stelter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Stelter. Yeah.
Brian Stelter. We got to pull that clip up.
That was funny. That was back during COVID.
So look at this shit. He wants to steal your lands, tell grandma to pound sand, do eminent domain, and he ain't got the balls to put on a pair of work boots and get out there and then tell the people to their face he's taking their shit. What are you gonna do about it?
What a clown.
We're gonna let a bunch of people sitting around in sandals kick our ass?
No.
Kick our shit?
No.
Say that again, Nadine.
No.
Don't
make me come over. Don't make me go to freaking Fox News in the city. I don't want to have to go down there because I don't have anybody to bail my ass out. I don't.
We'll bail you out.
No,
we'll do a fundraiser. And that's what they did with Harry Freeman. What was his name? Is it Harry? He got arrested, and they did a fundraiser, bailed him out.
I can get so freaking pissed.
Yeah.
This red hair is still going strong.
There you go.
All right, so we got people from reality TV shows, big investors trying to come in here from other countries and build data centers in prime country without the care of anybody's welfare or well-being. They don't care about your house or water. They don't care about your ground. I mean, what better way to destroy your own country than by allowing this, right? Outsiders doing that, because the real Americans wouldn't do that to their own land.
Right.
So we got Canadians, we got Israelis, we got all foreign investors coming in here with all this money, paying off your city councils, paying off all kinds of, maybe even judges getting land.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of shit. Everybody's getting. Hey, George Carlin was right. He was right, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He's got the judges in your back pocket. You know, the judges, lawyers, police, city hall.
Yeah, judges are wearing pink flip flops.
Anything too
So he's scared of these. That billionaire is scared of these two women right here from Utah. There we go.
serious. This is the very scary, very intimidating man that is threatening us. We are not taking the criticism of anyone who is wearing flip-flops and a suit on national television. You know, it's not every day you get called out by first and last name on Fox News by a Canadian billionaire trying to ruin my state, but here we are. Kevin, are you okay? But after sitting with this for a moment, we decided to take it as a compliment because, first of all, how are these men scared of us? Have you met us? Hi. What are we talking about?
I want a forensic audit of who's funding their platforms. Who is it? So these are proxies for the Chinese government's my argument. And if they're not, because I want them to be able to defend their name to Gabby, come out wherever you are.
Okay, Kevin, go ahead. Mr. Wonderful's Nancy Drew little detective agency. Have at it, brother, because if we were Chinese operatives, we would be the worst operatives in the entire world. Someone alert Beijing that the payment portal to Jackie and I's Amex bills is somehow broken. As a reminder, we run Democratic campaigns in the state of Utah. If we were in this to be making money, we would be doing literally anything else. And you should know that because your job is to give small business owners advice. Yeah, you'd think that Kevin would understand the hellscape that is late stage capitalism and consumerism that has led to you becoming a terrible, horrible billionaire who's trying to ruin our state. But if we're talking about audits, we should be auditing the Stratos Project. We should be auditing all of the politicians that, I don't know, do you have property surrounding the Stratos Project? Or maybe do you have interests that you were changing the laws before this was created? Hypothetically. We're just saying we should maybe look into people that stand to make hundreds of millions of dollars off this project. And let's be so for real and so clear, that is not us. It is not us. But sure, let's do the thing that all men who are scared and have no actual facts do, which is accuse women who have a fully formed thought of being the problem and being Chinese operatives, just like me. Like, what are we talking? How are we making this video right now? Like, it's so unserious.
And they should thank me for this promotion I'm giving them right now. And let's shine the light of transparency on what you're doing because they're also going after the leadership. Data Utah itself, these two cells.
Well, Kevin, you say that like it's a scandal, and it's not, because we are damn proud of the fact that we will continue to be shining a light on the corruption and insanity that is going on in this state, not just with this project, but with many others. We will continue to be here doing that work long after you've forgotten about Utah, because you don't actually care about what happens to the state.
Let's show the people of Utah you actually care about them.
We don't need Kevin to teach us to care about Utah, because we've been here, we were born here, we work here, we have sacrificed a lot of time, unpaid jobs, just to try and make this state better. We're the ones that actually love this state, and that is why we care about its future, and we care about this data center and what it could do to the future of our state. I think it's important that we get to this. So out of frame, just behind Kevin O'Leary while he's doing this Fox News hit, is a life-size cardboard cutout of himself. And by life-size, we mean extremely short. Maybe that's how tall he really is. We don't know. As the old saying goes, behind every terrible man is a cardboard cutout of that same man. This is a real man, and he chose to wear this hat that says Utah National Security. When did they have these made? Was it a gift from Stuart Adams and Spencer Cox and Mike Schultz? I don't know. But please, Kevin.
That looks like a the mega make Israel. I mean, Iran Grady getting cap from Lindsey Graham with the black. He's a black hat. He's from Canada. Why has he got? So they're roasting his ass right here.
Oh yeah.
They are roasting his ass. You can have billions of dollars, boy, but when two women come after you, it's over. Utah national security, really? This is a national security thing. They must have convinced Trump this was all for national security purposes.
Right.
Right as well.
National Security. When did they have these made? Was it a gift from Stuart Adams and Spencer Cox and Mike Schultz? I don't know. But please, Kevin, let us know where this dumbass hat came from. So we decided that we need to make a hat of our own because we also have security concerns for the state of Utah, just slightly different. We are worried about the Great Salt Lake. We are worried about our carbon emissions. We are worried about our electrical grid. We are worried about the temperatures rising in our state. We care about the economic, environmental future of our state. So if you would like to support the work that we are doing that apparently has these billionaires shaking in their boots, you can buy our hat, which now says Utah Nature Security. And those donations of just $30 will go to support the work that we're doing. You can pre-order these hats, which will go to us and Alliance for a Better Utah, the two organizations called out by Kevin O'Leary. So please support us because we might need lawyers. The link's in our bio. Come out, Kevin. For the record, and I never thought I would have to say this in my entire adult life, we are not Chinese foreign operatives.
Never
We are
have
not being paid by the Chinese government.
So,
bye, Kevin.
bye, Kevin. Put your dogs away and keep my name out of your fucking mouth.
Damn.
Nice.
You doesn't intimidate them.
They got a little Nadine in them.
Right.
Damn, it was like, keep my name out your effing mouth.
Oh,
Alrighty.
good.
All right.
That was awesome.
Good cruise.
The AI data centers in America have already become hugely unpopular. The noise pollution from their cooling systems reach up to 100 decibels and run nonstop. They are drawing down aquifers in areas that are already in short supply, turning the water brown and tainting it with a disinfectant smell. And there is no benefit to the local community. A U.S. Chamber of Commerce report found that each data center provides about 157 jobs. Because of all this, developers have been using non-disclosure agreements with local officials, and projects are announced only weeks before voting for approval. There are now nearly 200 active opposition groups across the United States, and it's growing fast. The official story is that the U.S. needs to stay competitive to beat China in an artificial intelligence arms race. But that story does not add up. The United States has already built over 4,000 data centers. China ranks at number 4 with 368. What they appear to be is the infrastructure for a new financial system, one that includes mass surveillance and autonomous weapon systems to protect it. The US dollar system is quickly collapsing, which would devastate the entire world economy. The only solution being played out is the AI agentic economy, which requires a massive amount of computing power. This new AI agentic system will be run by autonomous software entities that can own wallets, earn and spend money, create contracts, and transact with each other without human intermediaries. This addresses the debt problem by growing the economy faster than the debt accumulates. Like the petrodollar, it extends US dollar hegemony without fixing its core issue, the debt. The Bank for International Settlements is the bank for central banks. It is immune from any national law, and its employees have diplomatic immunity. It answers to no government on earth, and every central bank is a member. BRICS only appears to be in opposition to Western banking. It is not. BRICS is aligned with the rest of the world in adopting this new AI digital banking system. But a growing number of analysts agree that this is a temporary fix. After about 10 years, the consumption of resources, the displacement of human workers, and the massive transfer of wealth to the few who own these AI agents makes a fundamental restructuring unavoidable. And yet, the entire world is going along with this plan. The question is, why? As we covered in last week's video, the New World Order, the emerging unipolar world is preparing for a major geological event that is expected to be catastrophic for the United States and beneficial to Russia. In the United States, data centers are being built inland and on elevated land, away from the coastlines. This is where all vital U.S. infrastructure is being moved, and is where billionaires are buying up acres by the millions. China is building their data centers inland and high above sea level, over 1,200 kilometers from their main user bases, who have been complaining about latency and security. China has also built ready-to-occupy ghost cities at high elevation, deep inland, and on geologically stable platforms. And they are now using economic incentives to move its population into these cities and away from the coast. Russia's official government plan explicitly states the opening up of new land for agriculture and easier transportation of goods in the Arctic as positive effects of an expected pole shift. They are spending billions preparing for it. They have passed dozens of new laws aimed at stimulating economic growth and encouraging migration to the Arctic, including free land grants, subsidized mortgages, and other social benefits for those who make the move. Russian scientists have concluded that 13 million square kilometers of currently frozen territory will soon thaw and become the center of Russian civilization and a land of great opportunity. Russia is not frantically building data centers. They are passing homesteading laws and preparing for a windfall of new landmass. The expected catastrophic geological event is the most elegant explanation for all the chaos happening on Earth today. It explains just about everything. The real mystery is this: what exactly is causing it, and how do the most powerful people on Earth know about it? Greg Reese reporting.
There you go. 5-minute clip, Greg Reese. We'll share that in the chat. All right, a lot going on with these data centers. Here's something else I just found. I want to check this out. Here we go. Let me pull this up, make this a little bit bigger so you can see. All right, B System, right? Brookfield CEO Bruce Flatt. We will be rewiring the global economy, he says. We're laying cloud, artificial intelligence factories, and data centers to do what? To basically rewire the world for the new economy that's coming. That's what they're talking. That's what all this is about. That's what all this is about.
Yeah.
Right? The King Charles just told his people they're fixing to all go to digital ID.
Yeah.
And they're fighting back already, speaking out. I got a little bit on that. But here it is. It's here.
Is that we have been, and we still are, and for the next 10 years we will be, rewiring the global economy to lay the networks that we laid before, which were highways, utilities, railways, and now we're laying cloud.
So you remember when the phone lines changed? I played that, right? It was just, you could just pick it up, put that piece to your ear and talk into the microphone. It was just, right? And then when the new dial-up came, the new system came,
yeah,
it was a big deal, right?
Yeah,
Same thing here.
You played that. That was a little skit with it.
Yeah, it's a skit.
Yeah.
It shows you how how it works, and then, you know, like us, the old timers, is what they would call the people that aren't cool with the change and aren't wanting, you know, they get a little grumpy, but the shit just keeps coming. It doesn't stop. Nothing stops this. This is like a global thing. This is something that's
it's global.
It's out of our control, and all we have is our power, is our voice and saying.
That's it.
Whether you agree or not
Which
agree.
is more powerful
Than their, yeah.
When it's
That's where people should have been listening to what older people were saying instead of saying, "Oh, they're crazy. They don't understand." You know, that's where you should honor and respect people that are older, so that you know that they can help you not get into trouble.
So what they're doing is, this is the same thing where they're just, it's progress, but it's on a technology level, and then it's unknown charted territory, and then you see all the movies, the Terminator and stuff with the Skynet and the end of the world and how all that plays out, and that's what this is doing, is heading straight into that direction. Right? Almost like that was predictive programming.
Laying
up. So the point here is, they're going to be rewiring the global economy. That's what the data centers are, artificial AI factories, cloud. It's the new economy that's coming, but it doesn't include too many humans. It required to keep it running, so it's going to all be automatic. All right, let's see. But the real currency is food. Always keep that in mind.
Yes.
Right? So stay connected to the land, grow your own food, take care of yourself. Right?
Yes.
Fend for yourself, take responsibility, and you don't have to worry about the beast.
Cloud, artificial intelligence factories, and data centers. And on the fundamental basis, that's what's happening. So there will be $10 trillion from power, AI, factories, data centers, and fiber build out laid to basically rewire the world for the new economy that's coming. And it's been slowly coming. Like it literally, you end up, things happen and you think they're too much, but we're just rewiring the world. And that's probably the most fundamental thing that's going on in the world. It's going to be the most important thing for the next 2 years. So I think the important thing is, don't think that this is it too much hype? Yes, there's always too much hype in some different thing, but we're just rewiring the world, and there's going to be enormous investment, and it's not 1 year, 2 year, it's 10, and maybe it's 15, and maybe it's 20.
Okay.
But it's an enormous amount of capital going into these things.
They're planning out for like their the grandkids on out. Yeah. You're just seeing it kick off now. It'll be 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now. It'll be, your phones will be old, outdated. You'll be probably your computer and all that will be just hologram, right? Just touch the sky right there. It'll give you the layout just like the movies, right? So rewiring the whole world.
How are they going to rewire the whole world? They can't even keep us from having potholes.
Right.
Right, bud?
So Trump confirms that 30 American CEOs were pitching to Xi on investments. This was never about the American people, but instead his billionaire friends.
So I'm in China. We had the greatest CEOs in the whole world. We had about 30 of them, and they were pitching President Xi on doing business in China.
Okay.
I think they were successful.
All right. There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. So that was no conspiracy theory.
That's how the UN Agenda 2030. That's how the UN Agenda 2030 policies pass at the school board level, the county commissioners.
So let me tell you some of the good news. For many, many years, I've been trying to pass legislation to protect cash and stop programmable money for all these reasons. But one of the things that's happened, because it's an abstract idea, and people have struggled with that.
Mm-hmm.
But now the local hardware you need to implement that system is going into place.
Sure.
With both the data centers, the telecom that everyone's fighting, but then the flock cameras.
Yeah.
And what has happened is there is a revolution across America of people who are so furious to discover that they are paying their county to put up cameras that track their every movement with the flock
These are
cameras.
the automatic license plate reader cameras. More and more people are learning about flock everywhere.
And there is huge pushback.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
And with the data centers, like you said, that seems to me like an issue that might actually have the rare chance to unite left and right.
Right. And it's interesting. So the people putting in data centers have a couple problems. One is people are beginning to understand that they're going to be used for control.
Yeah.
They're not going to be used to increase productivity. They're going to be used to increase control. But the other thing they're realizing is if you look at the projections of what energy they need and what water they need and what their environmental impact is, what the noise does to people who live around it, they're beginning to realize, oh, wait a minute, these people don't care about climate change.
No, they don't. They don't.
There was an article I was just telling a guy who I met who'd just gone to a data center conference. There was an article last year that Texas, for the projected data centers, needed 50 new nuclear plants.
Wow.
And he told me it takes 30 years to build a nuclear plant in Texas. So.
All right. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, she's basically saying it's already done.
Yeah.
These clowns.
They need water, the environment. They don't care about climate change. Think about it. Didn't I show you the video? If they cared about climate change, then these data centers wouldn't be So the left wing, the left is realizing they were used this whole time. Is what they're waking up to. That they used them for their love of nature and saving the
Yes.
planet. They used the left this whole time, and now they're seeing that the people that they rode with are now involved in the shit that they're against. It's almost like everything's flipped now, back to where it needs to be. It's us versus them, right? And they're waking up and realizing that
Oh yeah.
on left and right,
They're not happy.
the left and the right. That, like they said, this is
But this is gonna bring us together. Right?
well, it's crosses. It's bipartisan. It crosses all,
Yeah.
and it
affects
affects us
all of
all. Like when there's a crisis, all that political shit goes out the window.
Oh yeah.
For real, especially when you got these people like this saying they're climate change, but then when they come to data centers, they're not. Zuckerberg, Meta, Larry Fink, it's climate change, climate change, climate change. And then look, like if you look at that,
We have to get the people away from their idol worship of these freaking punk ass people.
Yep.
and these are outside investments.
Yeah.
These aren't even like American companies. These are like outside investments in this. And this is what to make an AI video? Like really? No, is this something bigger than that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
What they say, we're the nodes. We're the nodes.
The freaking guys wear pink flip flops, trying to yell at two women. You know, like this guy.
They pulled his man card.
Yeah.
Take these people seriously.
Like where's the pie in the face that Bill Gates got? You know, at least they freaking did a pie in the face.
I think they got it. That was the equivalent of a pie in the face when they said, "Keep my effing name out your mouth."
Yeah, right. That was good. That was real good. She could have said that again.
Impact their lives. High-powered artificial intelligence centers all across the United States. That's what's happening. But the question is, to what end? Okay, what is the actual goal? It's obviously evil and dystopian. If you're not aware of that, you have to wake up to it, okay? The aim, to me, appears very clearly to be a surveillance state. Like I said, they want what China has. They want to monitor all of us. You're seeing that already at the airport, right? How many pictures can be taken, that they're trying to learn your face. Every single person needs to have a digital ID and this ID, and we can know every second where you're going. That's going to require some data centers. There is an unholy alliance between the military and our press, trying to convince us that this is fine, that it's normal, that we're being thrust into a state where we won't even be able to turn on our cars without government approval, right? They already can shut down a large portion of cars automatically, the newer ones. They can just literally, while you're driving, shut that down. But they want more. They want to know where you are every second of every day, what you're thinking, what you're writing, who you're speaking to. Listen to this conversation.
Right now.
There you go. Yeah, 69 U.S. jurisdictions have now blocked new data centers, citing the need to protect local power grids and water supplies. A growing number of cities, counties, and towns are pushing back hard against the explosive growth of AI data centers. At least 69 jurisdictions across the United States have passed restrictions or outright uh, moratoriums on new data center construction, with 4 of those bans made permanent. Communities are alarmed by the massive resource demands of these facilities, enormous electricity consumption, millions of gallons of water for cooling, rising utility bills, constant noise, and the loss of local control over land use. What was once welcomed as economic development is now sparking fierce debates about sustainability and quality of life. The tipping point came in Michigan, where a huge AI data center project backed by OpenAI and Oracle was approved despite strong local opposition. The decision triggered a domino effect, with neighboring towns rushing to pass their own bans to prevent similar developments. As tech giants race to build the infrastructure needed for advanced AI, they're increasingly running into resistance from communities unwilling to sacrifice their environment and resources for corporate expansion. The digital revolution is now colliding with physical reality. AI data center bans are multiplying across the U.S. 69 jurisdictions already ban new builds. All right, and
out what she calls the 12 steps to total control. This is not a conspiracy theory. I shouldn't even. Catherine Austin Fitts has mapped out what she calls the 12 steps to total control. This is not a conspiracy theory. I shouldn't even have to say that. This is an inventory of systems that are either already built, currently being built, or in advanced planning stages of being built. So walk through this with me. Smart meters, smart appliances, internet connected everything. Your home becomes a data collection node. Every pattern of behavior, when you wake up, when you cook, when you leave, is recorded. I hate it when people have, Siris in their house. Step 2, let's digitize your car. Modern vehicles are rolling surveillance devices, GPS tracking, driving behavior monitoring, remote access capabilities. Some electric vehicles can already be disabled remotely. Fitz notes that she had to put sticky notes over the dashboard of a new car because of how aggressively it was monitoring her. Number 3, smartphones and telecommunications. This one's already complete, long ago. Your phone knows where you are, who you talk to, what you search, what you buy, and what you think about buying. Google logged over 2 trillion location updates per day during COVID and shared that data with governments. Step 4, digital ID. The credential that ties everything together. Once you have a verified digital ID linked to your biometrics, every interaction with every system gets attached to your permanent record. Step 5, CBDC, all digital money. We've covered this, but in the context of the 12 steps, understand that this is not step 1, it's step 5. By the time CBDC rolls out, the surveillance infrastructure is already in place to use it. People have already been groomed to accept it. Step 6, the tokenization of all assets. Larry Fink of BlackRock has said publicly he wants to tokenize all stocks and bonds. We're talking about your house, your car, your retirement savings. Everything becomes a digital token on a blockchain, which means everything becomes programmable, trackable, and potentially freezable. Step 7, AI surveillance and enforcement. AI already analyzes billions of financial and online interactions to detect fraud and, quote, harmful content. As these systems mature, they can pattern match behavior in real time, scoring your risk, your sentiment, your credibility, and enforcing restrictions automatically, no human required. Number 8, biometric tracking, facial recognition, gait recognition, voice recognition. The UK already has one of the most surveilled public spaces in the democratic world. Canada is now expanding its biometric data collection through border services, passport systems, and increasingly through private sector partnerships. I don't know why we don't even keep people in prison. Why do we need to find more of them? Step 9, social credit scoring, the synthesis of all of the above. Your financial behavior, your online speech, your physical movements, your associations, all fed into a scoring system that determines what you can access, where you can go, and what you can buy. Step 10, control of food systems. They already said it. I already gave you that example. Fitz is super direct with this. You cannot control financial transactions without controlling food. If someone can grow their own food, raise their own animals, trade locally, they have an exit from the system. Watch for regulations on small farms, ostrich farms, on seed saving, on local food markets. In Canada, we're already seeing this pressure. Step 11, control of energy. electric vehicles that can be disabled remotely, smart grids that can cut power to individual homes, carbon tracking tied to personal accounts. The energy transition, whatever its merits, also creates a new layer of individual dependency on centrally controlled infrastructure. I've always wondered with the electric car thing, we keep pushing the electric vehicles, but in a climate that doesn't support them. Maybe this is why. Step 12, the synthesis, a digital concentration camp. These are Fitt's words, not mine. When all 12 of these systems are integrated, when your home, your car, your phone, your ID, your money, your assets, your food, and your energy are all connected to a central system that knows who you are and can be switched off, you don't need walls. You don't need guards. The cage is invisible and it runs on software. She uses the COVID lockdowns as the proof of concept. If there's anyone landing on my show for the first time and you think COVID was a normal thing or just a pandemic, you got some shows to watch. If I say you're going to lock down and you can't leave your home except on Tuesday and Thursday to go grocery shopping, your money won't work outside your home. If I say I don't want you driving anywhere, I can turn off your electric car. If you misbehave, I can cut or turn off your money, says Catherine Austin Fitts. We've already lived a version of this, and most people complied. The infrastructure that made it possible was never dismantled. Of all 12 steps, the digital ID is the keystone. It's the piece that makes everything else integrate. Without a verified digital identity linked to your biometrics, the other systems are powerful but disconnected. But with it, they become one unified system. We have a government that has been quietly building the interoperability between these systems for years. We have something that the US doesn't yet have at the federal level, which is Bill C-11. Legislation that gives a government regulator authority over what Canadians can access and see online. Now add the other layers of our censorship bills, add age verification laws, which are coming, framed around protecting children from social media, and you have the mechanism to require identity verification just for internet access. And no, we're not just talking about social media. We're talking about your bank, your ability to buy a flight. First social media, then news platforms, then anything the government designates as potentially harmful. The infrastructure doesn't care what it was originally built for. Everything I've described so far requires enforcement. And historically, enforcement required humans, which meant it was slow, expensive, and inconsistent. Well, AI removes that bottleneck completely. And here's the part that should concern you the most about Canada specifically. The Canadian government has been integrating AI tools into federal services. The CRTC, the regulator empowered by Bill C-11, is exploring AI-assisted content moderation. The Canada Revenue Agency uses algorithmic systems for audit selection. The tools are being embedded before the public debate about their limits has even started. Catherine Austin.
Doug, you talking?
I was
There
talking.
you go.
Yeah, you have to unmute me next time. Yeah, next time I do that, just go. You have my permission. I forget to start talking. So here we go. That's from Andrew Bridgeton. This is why data centers are being built across the world. Catherine Austin Fitts gives us 12 steps of the control grid. Governments are erecting a digital concentration camp. This is why we must say no to digital ID, or we won't be able to say no to government ever again. Sorry. All right. So then we got here, this is from the ladies in Utah. Their channel is Elevate Utah. You can go check them out on YouTube and X and TikTok and Instagram. They don't have a Facebook page, it doesn't look like. So Elevate Utah, we'll go to their YouTube. I'll share the link. Here's the channel right here on YouTube. Let me share that out. Here you go for the data centers in Utah. Paste, there we go. There's that channel right there. All right, now let's go to the UK. This is from, they are wanting to do the digital ID in the UK as well. From Claire Taylor, she says, not my words, but I'm sharing. Excuse the swearing. You effing traitor. Nothing could be more of a effing piss take than a frail inbred parasite wrapped in dead animal fur, dripping in stolen jewels robbed from half the planet, sitting on a solid gold throne in a palace built on centuries of blood, slavery, war, famine, and theft, lecturing the public about sacrifice, unity, and the future of the nation while millions can barely afford to put the heating on. The king's speech, look at the theater of it. Look at the sheer absurdity. A grown man wearing a diamond encrusted crown, worth more than the entire town's, reading words written for him by unelected handlers, pretending this is modern civilization instead of the last rotting carcass of feudalism dressed up with better cameras and cleaner propaganda. And what was he actually reading? More control, more bureaucracy, more effing regulations, more promises from the exact same machine that created the collapse in the first damn place. Talking about strengthening public services and modernizing Britain and security and digital reform and public accountability and online protections and new powers and economic growth, national resilience, endless piles of legislation stacked on top of legislation while ordinary people are worked into the effing ground just trying to survive another month. You've got this ancient ceremonial relic dressed like a medieval emperor reading out plans for more digital systems and more regulations and more surveillance and more state intervention and more centralized control while pretending it's all about fairness and safety. You generally could not invent a more dystopian image if you tried. It looks like something out of the effing Capitol in Hunger Games. Gold everywhere, thrones and jewels and guards and costumes and ancient rituals and billion-pound estates, while the peasants sit at home wondering if they can afford eggs and electric this week. You've got people doing 50 hours weeks, parents skipping meals so their kids can eat, pensioners freezing in their homes, young families buried in rent and debt, while this lot sit under chandeliers worth millions talking about service. Service to who exactly? Because it's sure the F isn't the people, it damn sure isn't the public. Those people have never lived like normal for a single second of their lives. They have private guards, they have private chefs and private doctors, private drivers and private estates. They have private schools and private everything, funded by the same public that they emotionally blackmail into believing they somehow represent the nation. Represent the nation? They don't even represent reality. And the weirdest part is that people still clap for it. That's the real psychological operation. They've convinced millions of people that bowing to bloodlines is somehow noble instead of humiliating. Full grown adults standing in the rain waving little flags at a family whose entire existence is based on the idea that they were born more important than you because of who slid out of the whose womb 100 years ago. Strip away the orchestra music, the uniforms, and the fake dignity, and it's absolutely insane. It's the hive mind. If any politician stood up today and proposed this system from scratch, people would think it was in satire. Right? Everyone, hear me out. We're going to give one family billions of pounds, castles. We're going to give that one family all the jewels and the military ceremonies. And we're going to give that one family constitutional privilege and lifelong protection because their ancestors conquered with swords. You'd get laughed straight out of the room. But because it's old people defend it. That's how deep the conditioning goes. They call it tradition because national humiliation doesn't sound as marketable. And there he is. He sat on his throne made of stolen wealth, literally telling struggling people about economic responsibility and national duty while wearing enough diamonds to feed the entire communities for generations. You honestly couldn't write a more insulting image if you tried. And here we go. Kings and queens and shit, right? Marking orders. So this is the digital ID. So it's up to the British people to stand in their own divine power as a sovereign soul and to tell these globalist puppets to shove it where the sun doesn't shine. I see a huge backlash to this POS and digital ID. It will fail. And if people refuse to comply, no matter what they try, I'm waiting to see what happens at the Tommy Robinson March in London with all the police in riot gear. And Tommy Robinson's a paid shill.
Yeah.
He's trying to cause chaos, order out of
He was
chaos.
in a movie too.
Right, so that's what the Britons feel about him. They're not happy, just like you're not. They're going through the same thing that we're going through here.
But worse.
Right, 50 to 70% of the U.S. population is living paycheck to paycheck. Right, trying to make ends meet. In the meantime, they've got billions of dollars going into these surveillance systems, control grids, rewiring the whole matrix, so that we never. They're trying to prevent the inevitable, but they can't. Thank you, Miss Lori, for the donation. Thank you very much. So we got a small town in Michigan voted against massive data centers, but the developers are moving ahead with the project anyway. Your vote literally doesn't even matter. They're just going to do whatever they want. It's a huge $16 billion project for OpenAI and Oracle. So that's why they're silencing the people about the data centers on TikTok, because Oracle owns that.
Yes.
So he's building the data centers and he owns the platforms that you can speak out against them on. So he can censor you.
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's that's a monopoly on everything.
That's why we're in.
It's a total monopoly.
Because they probably will. They will.
We're gonna have
already
to stop.
doing it on TikTok, but
Last September, Saline Township board members voted 4-1 against allowing a proposal for an AI data center to proceed, but the land has been zoned agricultural for decades, even hundreds of years. They didn't want it to become anything industrial. Now 575 acres of farmland are being rezoned for the data centers. The full campus footprint described as up to 21 million square feet. It's one of the largest construction projects in Michigan history. Here's what happened.
Voted to prevent an AI data center from being built, but construction went ahead anyway. What is now a $16 billion project for OpenAI and Oracle started in a small town in Michigan with a board vote. Last September, Saline Township board members voted 4-1 against allowing a proposal for an AI data center to proceed. The developer of the data center promised hundreds of new jobs, tax revenue for the town, as well as access to the University of Michigan. But there was immediate opposition from the residents as well as the board. This is land that had been zoned agricultural for decades, even hundreds of years. So they didn't want it to become anything industrial, let alone a noisy data center that would have months of construction. The board voted no. But it turns out when it comes to zoning, no does not always mean no. 2 days later, the town was sued by the developer. And a small town like Saline Township wouldn't be able to defend itself in a lawsuit. Ultimately, they were advised to settle. I traveled to Saline Township in March. I spoke with residents, board members. I spoke to the developer, Related Digital, as well as OpenAI and Oracle, and even the utility, DTE, which is providing the electricity. Residents are really concerned about things like water, the environment, electricity, whether a gas plant will be built, and much more. For more on the data center debate, read my feature on fortune.com.
We're here in Holly Ridge, Louisiana, at a community meeting at a local residence home across the street from Meta's Hyperion Data Center. It's the company's largest, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg says it'll have a footprint the size of Manhattan. Nobody in the community was told anything about the project. It just showed up one day, and it's been disrupting every aspect of their lives. So we came out here to listen to them and hear about their concerns. I wonder, if y'all could talk a little bit about what's been happening to the community here and how you feel about it.
Our biggest concern right now is health, isn't it?
I think so.
A health problem.
Yeah, the air is not good.
I keep it find the trouble, and I keep it so all the time. I call that a health problem when I never had that much trouble before. I never had a sore throat. Breathing in that air with dust. I drove the bus for 35 years, and I've never seen such danger that the kids are in up there. Because it's hurting the old people, and it's hurting the young people. They're leaving.
We didn't know anyone you talked to in the community did not know about it. Everybody's selling out and getting out of here. They just don't want the mess. They don't want the traffic. The traffic is just terrible. Yesterday, I couldn't even get out of my driveway for 5 minutes. I had to wait till all the trucks back and forth before I could even get out. It's just disrupted everyday life as we knew it. That's what the big problem is. And they don't say anything. They have no one to talk to about it.
We want to test the air, we want to test the water and the dust. Is it safe or dangerous? Is this something that you guys would be interested in doing, letting us put air monitors and test the water and test the soil?
Certainly I would. That's what I really, why I wanted to come to the meeting, because just to hear what's going on, what's happening. Is anybody care? Do they care whether we're sitting over here choking to death or what? Getting old, we have enough problems with our health other than, the air doing it to us and the water.
It's just ridiculous of what they're doing. I can't stand even driving down the highway anymore. I'm actually ashamed to tell anybody I'm from Holly Ridge. And I've never been ashamed of Holly Ridge. It was a great place to live.
All right, Gold State's newsroom, right? There's from the locals. So they're going to monitor the air, the water, right? So that's something that you could think about if you're around these, is monitoring that.
Shouldn't even have to. This should have been freaking done. This should have been, this money thing. These people will not be able to get away. Like people think, oh, I'm going to go to another country. I'm going to go. No, you're not going to be able to get away. So enjoy your little bit of cash now, because it's not, you're not going to be able to get away. Like you're not set. It's just not. I mean, maybe if they had some kind of freaking island in the middle of the ocean, but people will still find them. Like seriously, this is just nuts.
It is.
That it's gotten to be this far.
Look, I haven't confirmed this, but I've heard that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is coming to intervene in my campaign. Look, dogs don't bark at park.
Oh well, shit. He's in the file and he's got something going on. Except, why are you trying to go against Massey here? That you know that exposes you. What did he say? Dogs don't bark. I'm like, why is he barking? All right, let's continue.
Heard that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is coming to intervene in my campaign. Look, dogs don't bark at parked cars. And the fact that you got cabinet secretaries that may be coming to my district to campaign against me during a war, the Secretary of War during a war, shows how serious this is to the global elites that I lose. And that's why it's so serious that I do win. If there's going to be any hope in Washington, D.C., if there's going to be any voice, anybody that ever challenges the narrative, whether it's on war or whether it's on immunity for companies, whether they're data centers or whether they're pesticide manufacturers. Look, there's all kinds of cronies that, not just the foreign influence cronies, but corporate cronies on the meat packing industry. And you'll see occasional fake fights where Republicans may engage in a fake fight, and then I show it's all fake. And that's why they hate me for breathing air in the swamp.
Yeah, they wouldn't like me either because I'd be like, that's bullshit. You're full of shit. You're APAC. You're a crisis actor. You're cool. You're cool.
Right, because it's one big uniparty, and
It's
when
a
you
uniparty. That's all it is. He's just exposing it for what it is. Right, which is what we see it. It's just all political theater. Is what they show us. They take turns clapping for each president at the State of the Union addresses, right? One side sits down, the other side stands up. But when a foreign leader comes here, they both sides just stand up and clap. Like when King Charles came here, Netanyahu, you see how they all stood up. They were all unified.
My name is Brianna Rice, Robinson Road. Speaking for myself, I'm 28 years old. While most people my age are planning vacations, I'm spending my time for fighting for survival of my cattle farm. I'm here because a massive data center was approved just a couple of miles from my land, Project Cell, and I'm being hounded by Georgia Power for an easement to build transmission lines through my property for the FET data center. I'm a local farmer, not an industrial developer. These 500 kV lines aren't for me. They are for the data centers that the boards and surrounding counties continue to approve. I have mail from lawyers stacking up on my kitchen table, wanting to take my case because they know my land is being targeted for eminent domain. Okay, let's see. I shouldn't have to worry about the specific wording of a legal contract just to keep my own land from being industrialized. When the FET data center was first brought up, it should have been brought attention to all that would be impacted. I did not have a voice to speak my mind, and that feels like an infringement on my First Amendment rights. These easements are permanent. They affect my ability to graze my cattle. They lower my property value, and they destroy the rural character of this county forever. This board makes decisions to approve these massive projects, but it's residents like me, young people trying to build a life here, who pay the price. You're voting to turn our farms into a network of high voltage wires and noisy industrial buildings. I'm asking you to realize the real world impacts of your votes. Every time you say yes to a data center, you're saying no to a local farmer. We aren't just numbers on a map. We are the future of the county. And right now you're making that future impossible. Respectfully, take that cow off the logo. Thank you. And I do have bigger fish to fry. My name is...
Yeah. Man, these girls are coming in with some attitude.
Yeah.
And they just sit there, look, they're all looking down. Looking down. Over here, he's got more important to type up what she's talking. He's surfing the internet, trying to see what the UFC fight is at the White House. Right, he's checking his clock watch, see when the hell is this shit going to be over. It's not going to be over, like Nadine said.
Ansley from Coweta County, here to save my mom's house from being taken by eminent domain. I'm with Brianna. Her house is being affected by this too. Actually, not a house. It's a cow pasture. They want a quarter of her cow pasture. It appears to me that Coweta County and Georgia Power think that American farmers aren't important. Let's hear what she has to say.
Okay. So again, my name is Brianna. I want to first thank Ansley for bringing me on here. Really appreciate you.
No problem.
So first I want to say this is my farm that's been in my family since 1988. My granddaddy bought it. He was from West Virginia. He was a coal miner. He came down here to be closer to my mom when she was a kid. So it's been a cattle farm since. I have his hat on representing him today. First time I've ever wore it. Okay. So I have two major concerns right now that's going on here on my land. The first is project sale. I'm wearing this shirt to represent.
Stop project sale.
It's a hyperscale data center that was just approved only 2 miles from here. Over 800 acres rezoned from conservation to high industrial. This is setting the tone for the future of Coweta County. There are already 2 data centers approved, Project Sail and Project Peach. Now, at least 3 more are currently in the works. We got Project Oak, Bridgeport, Pegasus, and possibly 2 more being talked about, not confirmed yet. So this hyperscale data center, Project Sail, is surrounded by over 1,000 homes within a couple miles. People living near data centers and other areas are already reporting water issues, health concerns, house damage and problems from blasting in the construction phase, rising power costs, and depreciation in home values. The sad reality is, many cases, the only way out for homeowners becomes hoping a developer comes to your front step, knocks on that door, and wants you to sell out. That's the only way, and it shouldn't be that way. I don't want that. Does anybody else want that?
Nobody here in this county wants that.
So this goes hand in hand with the other issue me and Ansley are facing, the Ashley Park substation transmission line.
Project Wansley.
This massive power upgrade is being driven by data centers and future expansion. The transmission line has nothing to do with Project Sail. I do want to put that on the record. As I said, I'm dealing with 2 separate issues driven by data centers. Data centers suck up a lot of power, so there's need for expansion. They need transmission lines for power, right? Okay. And the lines go to a substation, and the substation needs a power plant, right? I'm curious if they vote yes on more data centers here in Coweta, are there going to be additional transmission lines ran? And if so, where?
It's going to be your house next, everybody. Listen up.
I'd hope they'd introduce the lines before they vote on a project that could greatly affect people like me if it were to go through residential properties. So we should not have to sell easements to utility companies to help power data centers. The data centers are privately owned and are billionaires. Why can't they supply their own power?
They should have to. You guys, I want to go ahead and add on just a little bit here. So everybody in Georgia will be affected by this one way or another. If you are a Georgia Power customer by force, because we don't get the choice, then you will see this come out of your pocket. You are paying for this. All of this. You are paying for what they are offering us for eminent domain. You are paying for these transmissions to be built, all of their employees that come out here and do the work, all of their machines. You are paying for it.
And at some point, data centers close to residential properties is going to push farms and agriculture families out of the town. I know I'm not going to stay here long term and be boxed in between transmission lines and data centers, but it hurts me to my core that I grew up on this land. My papa was an old school farmer. I have so many memories of being here when I was a kid. He loved the land. He loved his cattle. It's sad because I thought I was doing everything right. And I feel like my goals and dreams are snatched from me. So there is a Facebook group called Stop Project Sail. It gives you a lot of information. The Coweta County residents here are amazing at just giving out all the information. Please join it.
And also, the residents here filed an appeal to reverse their vote for project sale. And also, there is a page where you can donate if you wanted to. You don't have to by any means, but it takes all of us. It takes us all to fight this fight. There are 20 families right now that are suing Coweta County for this decision. We will fight and we will not give up. Brianna, I want to show them over here. Similar to my mom's house, you guys. Brianna's farm neighbors the power lines. Georgia Power, you have enough. You don't need to take any more. Build where you already have. As just like my mom's, as far as the eye can see. Thank you, everybody, for sharing.
Thank you.
Again, it's Ansley from Coweta County. Brianna, we are going to fight for our property. Georgia Power, you can have it. Thank you.
There you go. Right here, Missouri town votes out and entire every city council member who approved a $6 billion AI data center. Right. So did they? Oh, you approved it? Okay, we're gonna get you out of here. Here you go. Right. So this is what
Good.
this is what a local accountability looks like. In Peters, Missouri, a town of about 14,000 people, voted the city council quietly approved a $6 billion AI data center to be built on 360 acres just north of Highway 67. Residents say they were never properly heard. Meetings were held in private. Documents were released too late. A week after the approval, the town held a regular election. Voter turnout jumped to 129%. Every single council member who had voted yes lost in a landslide. A 70-year-old first-time candidate beat an 8-year incumbent by 40 percentage points. Now they're doing a recall petition is circulating to remove the mayor as well. The lawsuit against the city is already filed. Has your local government ever been held accountable like this?
That's awesome.
They're lucky that's the way it went.
Yeah.
They really are.
So there you go. We'll share this out right here. There we go. Also, this is from Farm Perel Carey. Here's the link. Check real quick. There you go. All right. Also, we have the FDA chief, Marty McCary, is resigning. Just last month, Dr. Robert Malone said that Marty McCary is the person responsible for hiding COVID-19 vaccine pediatric deaths from the public. And today he resigns.
Data, the falsification of data, the suppression of key findings, such as the pediatric deaths that are not being allowed to be released to the public.
Who's blocking that? So children deaths because of COVID-19 shots, that's being suppressed.
The name is Marty.
Marty McCary.
Yeah.
So you've named a few names now. Heidi Overton, Marty McCary. Really?
Who testified to Congress about against, mandates, vaccine mandates.
Yeah, so I really, there's a lot of dynamics that are going on. There is a huge amount of rumor mill going on about the reorg. As you know, there was just a major reorg at HHS with promotion of some key leaders from within the CMS group that's been so effective under Dr. Oz's leadership to positions where they're functionally chief operating officer for HHS. There's just been a major amount of change within the overall sixth floor operation. And of course, now we have a case where the nominated Surgeon General is not going to clear Senate approval. And so that's another issue.
All right, there you go. He resigns. Here's his mugshot. I mean, photo.
The moral transgressions.
Oh, there we go. So that's who was called out last month by Robert Malone. Marty McCary is the person responsible. So he is resigning.
He was another one of those Fox News guys. He was always on there as the expert back when I was watching it.
Yep.
Oh, that was. All right, so we go to. All right, check this out.
Is a very strange rabbit hole, and I think it explains exactly how the system works. You see, dandelions are classed as a weed. We're just naturally told that these are just useless and get in the way, and you should, get rid of them out your garden. And it's kind of strange because every weed killer that you can find in the stores, every single one of them, I mean every single one, has a picture of a dandelion on it. It's, almost like they want you to just get rid of these plants without any question. Like, none of these weed killers have pictures of poisonous plants or deadly plants. They all have dandelions on. You see, when you actually research dandelions properly, they're not just some useless weed at all. Humans have literally used dandelions for centuries in traditional herbal medicines. The roots, they have been used for years in teas and tonics. Their leaves, they are packed with vitamins A, C, and K. The plant itself contains minerals like potassium and antioxidants. People have historically used different parts of this plant to support digestion, hydration, and just general well-being. Even the bees love dandelions. This is one of the food sources first for pollinators after winter. And yet, for some reason, our modern society that we live in have programmed us to instantly see one of these growing and just naturally think to kill it. I just find that fascinating because somewhere along the line, humanity has become so disconnected from nature, we have stopped asking, what is this plant? What are the benefits? Why have humans used this for hundreds of years? Like, why do we now spray it, poison it, remove it, and, make our gardens look so artificial that we don't even like dandelions? Like, do you really think that an advanced civilization that we're meant to be would naturally boycott a plant that was genuinely historically used for health, right? We have rebranded it in people's minds as nothing more than an annoying weed. It makes no sense. Like, maybe the deeper issue right here is that we've become so disconnected from nature that we no longer recognize the value in things that literally grow freely around us. So yeah, maybe, just maybe, before spraying every plant and ripping out every weed, we should probably learn what it is first, because it turns out a lot of these weeds and plants that we've been destroying are actually historically massively medicinal. So let me know your thoughts.
There we go, right? Also, we have Doug and Stacy. Does anybody y'all watch Doug and Stacy on YouTube? Anybody? The homesteading?
Yep.
I have, but it's not a regular thing. X66, he wants to know, is it still a scripted movie? I believe it's still a scripted movie. I just think that there are real people having real issues within the movie. And the thing is, if the more we whack-a-mole this bullshit, like the data centers and all the different subjects, then the shorter of a span it takes on. Like, we'll be able to beat the hell out of the data centers and hopefully be able to get rid of it. Like, you do that with COVID, you do it with this Hanta bullshit.
Yeah,
Like,
it
yes,
has to be done by us. I mean, the movie's been going since 1940, 1920, right? And that's when central casting came into play, right?
Right. It's just like the Truman Show. It was like it's a corporate everything. Let's look at the Artemis, right? They were in space. The Nutella that flew by
Yeah.
astronauts. I mean, that was like Truman Show.
Right.
So they're of course the movies is scripted. It wouldn't. I've never seen a movie that hasn't been scripted. And your news is scripted like years in advance. So like
Yes.
none of this shit's random. They have like a TV guide schedule of what they're gonna do.
The only difference is Trump being in there made it obvious, right? They kind of had to show their hand, but this isn't the first time this has been happened. It's just the people didn't fight back the correct way, right? They always marched or did something else, try to do something that wasn't the right way to do it. We have a constitution. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to all stand up, not in the. But we kept doing it the wrong way. That's why we had to do it the right way this time. But yeah, there's big corporations that really have the data centers that really want to do this, right? But there's too many of us, and they can't do it if we don't allow them to. They know the laws of the universe just really well.
They
know the
know
scripture.
better than we do, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The freaking Masons.
They do everything by that. So they know if we don't allow it, they can't do it.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
the more people, like regular people that don't really speak up, when they start really speaking up, that's really going to put the nail in the freaking coffins.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how many times can I send out on Twitter something when I'm getting censored, like, and Facebook and all these other? How many times can I keep doing the same thing over and over? It's the other people that aren't speaking up right now. They need to start, because they know where I stand. They know they better hide from me because they don't want me outing them. You know, especially in public. Forget about it. I would point. I would. If I found one of these SOBs, they would be done. I wouldn't even let them leave, to be honest. But that's not good to say.
Right.
Chain that bitch up. Get over here.
Right. We've been tacit, right? So now the pressure's on us like never before, right? So we have, which everyone's feeling it now. It's like, what'd you say, like being in the boiling water?
Yeah, it's like being in
Yeah.
a frog in hot water or
Yeah.
water.
So now
Water gets hotter and hotter and hotter. Next thing you know, you're sitting in boiling water.
more voices are being heard. More people are going.
Yeah, you didn't know who these women were that were just that the Shark Tank guy just went after until they spoke out, right?
That's right.
It's something affected them and they got involved, and that's how the shit works.
That's right.
Like you don't know when a tornado is coming and it wipes your house out and shit just happens, right? Things change like that in life. Like one minute you're living just everyday life, next minute they're coming and knocking on your door and saying, "Look, I need half your property to put these power lines on." Like, that's how this shit works. You could be just one. Like I said, you just a lot of people that just wanted to be left alone are now going to have to get involved.
That's right.
That's all.
When I
It's
watched
like Rambo.
I watched that movie you said the other night, and the two National Guard guys, they're like, "Oh yeah, we want to set up camp," and the guy's like, "No, you're not living here with us." And then they go down the hill to this other lady and people, and she's like, "Oh well, we voted it so that they could stay."
Yeah,
and it's like, you dumb bitch, you dumb bitch. And then those freaking guys start taking over the place, beating the shit out of everybody. It's like, and then it takes a woman to come up and shoot him in the head. Of course, it's got to be the freaking woman that shoots him in the head. Come on. Oh,
That's it. That was a good movie. I mean, it shows you kind of it. In the end, they learned they all had to kind of work together after they got rid of that one guy.
yeah. It's fine to do that, but if somebody says, you know what, we need our stuff because I've got a certain amount of people here. So you didn't prepare, so back up. And if somebody comes to me and they're sick, just one person at a time. You don't have to be a freaking fool. And
right,
then
but they wanted all of it.
yeah, it's like you don't go full fucking retard.
Right.
Never go full retard.
Never go full retard.
Yeah, never.
But there's always one of those too, right?
Yeah, and you've got to beat them over the head when they first start their shit.
That's
You don't be like, oh, let me just give them a few tries. No, you say something. Even if ever you don't think anybody's going to listen, you know what? Somebody's listening.
Oh yeah.
Like don't ever think you're going to be alone if you're in the right. If you're in the right, people are listening. They're just waiting for somebody to stand up.
That's it. Exactly. And then they'll stand up too.
Okay.
You can play that, Doug and Stacy.
Yeah. All right, so back to Doug and Stacy. Get off the porch. Here we go. All right, so Doug and Stacy, they're teaching people how to break free from the system and to do for themselves. This is one of their gatherings. See you in 2027 with special guest Barbara O'Neill. You can get tickets now. Check this out. People try to live off. Look at the gathering.
And our sponsors. So Azure Standard, so thanks to them. And then So Right Seeds, they are here today. Thanks to them. And Western A. Price Foundation, thank you for all that they do. And then Kitchen Queen Stones, there's stoves over there. I think they might be having fresh cookies too. Jackson Cell Salts in your bag. You should have some cell salts. We are having a workshop on cell salts, if anybody's interested in that as well. Redmond Ad, Carson's over there, Redmond Live, 4 jars, any canning stuff, awesome stuff, and of course, the 32 company. So you'll have those tomorrow if you want to get some of those and check out and our sponsors.
All right, you see that? Big gathering right there. Teaching them to different workshops, teaching people how to break free from the system and to do for themselves. So Doug and Stacy, they do a lot of off-grid, so to speak. Right, some of you are familiar with it. And in the process, he also likes to do, he has a show where he gets information to the people, just like we do here. Like he talks about Epstein, Fauci, and on. Hope you realize what is up. Department of Justice does not plan to arrest Fauci and is expected to let the statute of limitations for lying to Congress expire. Right? That's because go back to the propaganda with Fauci and Trump and the commercials and kind of if Fauci goes down, then the whole damn Operation Warp Speed, I think, goes down. And everybody, it doesn't look so hot. Trump's administration, Trump himself.
Yes.
Right? So I think that's where we're at with that. This one is. Y'all remember George Carlin, right?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. He talked about the hantavirus right here in 1999. Remember this skit?
Way of reducing your liberty and reminding you that they can fuck with you anytime they want. Way of reducing your liberty and reminding you that they can fuck with you anytime they want. As long as you put up with it. As long as you put up with it. Which means, of course, anytime they want. Because that's what Americans do now. They're always willing to trade away a little of their freedom in exchange for the feeling, the illusion of security. What we have now is a completely neurotic population obsessed with security and safety and crime and drugs and cleanliness and hygiene and germs. There's another thing, germs. Where did this sudden fear of germs come from? In this country. Have you noticed this? The media constantly running stories about all the latest infections, salmonella, E. coli, hantavirus, bird flu, and
yeah. He said hantavirus, didn't he?
Wow.
Salmonella, E. coli, hantavirus.
And that was in 1999?
Yeah. Well, it's on the side of the Lysol bottle, just like the coronavirus. It's on the Lysol bottle.
Salmonella, E. coli, hantavirus, bird flu, and the
Wow.
Americans they panic easily, so now everybody's running around scrubbing this and spraying that and overcooking their food and repeatedly washing their hands, trying to avoid all contact with germs. It's ridiculous, and it goes to ridiculous lengths. In prisons, before they give you a lethal injection, they swab your arm with alcohol. It's true.
Right, hantavirus. That was in the skit.
Yeah, he said it then, huh?
Yeah, he did. All right, one more and we're out of this.
Why would President Trump be taking all the tech giants, all the bank CEOs with him? All of these major CEO companies flew with President Trump to meet with Xi Jinping. So there are two major breaking stories today. If you're not caught up, I'm gonna catch you up. First, let's start with international breaking news. In the United Kingdom, King Charles announced today that they are going to go full force with the digital ID infrastructure, which is going to take over the banking system along with your physical identity, your physical digital structure.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Basically, Starmer made it very clear at the beginning of this year that if you do not comply with this digital ID infrastructure that's going to be implemented, which was now validated by King Charles, that you are going to have a hard time getting socially verified. You understand? Socially verified, that if you do not verify yourself or comply with the system, you cannot participate in the society. Understand that part. President Trump did not travel to China alone. He took all the tech mongols, the tech giants, the big companies, the banking infrastructure CEOs, BlackRock, all the creatures, the swamp of the deep state, like the people that we were supposed to drain. He took those vultures, those creatures are now leached on to the president, flew with him to China to meet with Xi Jinping. The same day that King Charles announces that digital ID will be going live soon. What is the one thing that China has mastered in the past century? If you've been following the meetings in Davos, you are going to understand that Klaus Schwab himself said every single nation needs to look to China when it comes to digital surveillance and one governing system transition into the new world order. Our president, who was supposed to drain the swamp, has taken the swamp with him to China to negotiate and broker deals on behalf of the American people. And these deals, I tell you, my friend, are going to involve the digital infrastructure surveillance system. You can take that to the bank.
Yeah, Trump told you himself he was brought them to broker a deal with China.
Right?
Right. And then King Charles, like you said, digital ID, that's where they're going in UK, it's coming here.
And we're the ones they want the most, right? So if we get them to back off, because we're like, they need us. So we're the ones that they're looking at.
Resist the digital ID at all costs. They already have your information. They just want you to submit to their beast system.
Donald Trump isn't going to run for a third term. They're not going to modify the Constitution so that Donald Trump can run a third term. But They are going to get their 3 terms, and this is how I think they're going to do it. In January, right after he passes his 2-year mark, J.D. Vance will declare Donald Trump incapable, and the cabinet will agree, and Donald Trump will be removed and replaced by J.D. Vance. Either that, or they'll off the motherfucker. If J.D. Vance assumes control at 2 years or less, then he can complete that 2 years and still run for 2 more terms. So essentially, he could run for 10 years. Remember, Trump didn't pick J.D. Vance. He had no idea who J.D. Vance was. None of us did. There was no way J.D. Vance was going to be president. So they used Donald Trump as a pawn to get J.D. Vance into office. Why is that important? Because J.D. Vance is connected to the Heritage Foundation. If you don't know this already, look it up. The president of the Heritage Foundation, Kevin Roberts, wrote a book. It's called Dawn's Early Light. Look it up right now on Amazon. You'll see that there are 2 authors listed for this book, Kevin Roberts and J.D. Vance. Because J.D. Vance wrote the foreword for this book. You can actually read it on Amazon. The Heritage Foundation handpicked J.D. Vance to be the future president of the United States. But they couldn't do it on his own. They needed to use Trump as a pawn to get him there. They don't care about Trump. They couldn't care less about that clown, just like the rest of us. And they can't wait for him to be gone. And they're letting him make all of these bad decisions and look like a fucking freak in front of the entire world. And not only that, show that his health is deteriorating, so that come January, February, they will invoke the 25th Amendment on his ass, and he will be replaced by J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance will then be eligible for a 10-year term. And they're going to get exactly what they wanted. Heritage Foundation in control of the White House. If this is on Cashy or Polymarket, put your money on it.
That reminds you of LBJ.
Little LBJ action. It gives me those LBJ vibes, right?
Yeah, because they needed LBJ to do what Kennedy wasn't going to do. Right? And they're making Trump look really, really bad.
They're giving him bad intelligence, just like they did JFK.
Yeah. So on purpose, probably, like he said, to make him look incompetent.
Yeah.
I think that's why he brings up his cognitive test, right? That he made such a good score. So, you know what I'm saying? So that they can't. He knows that that's what they're going to do.
Right. Major moves.
But like when you're in there, you can't do anything. You can't. You're controlled, or they'll kill you, like they did Kennedy.
And clone you.
And clone.
Could you imagine going on Fox News and just telling NASA's a big freaking lie, we never went to the moon, and people would be like, oh, he's lost his mind, and then they turn the freaking station off. Like, he wouldn't even be able to get very far with this information.
Right.
And then they'd label them, like it would be a label. So you can't even, because everybody's so programmed.
Right. So it's like you can't be in the system and go against the system. It don't work like that. Right? Unless you had a whole bunch of people in the system that wanted the system to change. But
Right, none of them are talking. So, like,
no, they're because they all did dirt too.
yeah, and they'd all backstab. They don't know which way anybody's going.
That's right.
You can't trust any of them. Like, none of them trust each other, except for
No.
like the Masons. They all have to go in a certain way. But if you go against it, then it's like they don't know who to trust because
Right.
some of them could be really wanting to get out of the whole thing, but they
That's
don't
why
know
they
who.
have the blackmail on them.
Yeah.
So you can't unless you don't care.
This is what it would look like if he got called out on Fox and told him it was all fake.
Stop lying. Stop acting. You all never went to space.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. That.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he is in prison. In 60 seconds, you will understand how you are being held back by the Matrix. 1. Salary is the drug they give you to forget your dream. 2. School teaches you to follow rules, not break them. But only the rule breakers are the ones who succeed. 3. They don't want a nation of thinkers. They want a nation of workers. 4. You worked for 40 years, 8 hours a day. And after 40 years, you're still broke. Think about that for a second. 5. They teach you to be a good consumer, not a good producer. But in today's world, it's more important than ever to be able to create value. 6. They give you comfort through video games, movies, and shows. Comfort is a drug. Once you get used to it, it becomes addicting. Give a weak person consistent stimulation, tasty food, and cheap entertainment, and they'll throw their ambitions right at you. Best way to keep
It is your country, your state. Number 2, you have to pay for the prison stay. You were born in a cold prison. It is your country, your state. Number 2, you have to pay for the prison stay. They call the prison fee taxes. Number 3, you have no say what will be done with the money, but you have to pay. Number 4, to pay the money, you have to work. The prison encourages you to buy new shiny products, so you feel better about your poor existence. Number 5, you are not allowed to exit the prison far enough to see the prison wall. Number 7, the prison gives you news and entertainment so that you don't discover the prison walls. Number 8, the prison does not allow strong family bonds or strong brotherhood unless you are a part of the group that is running the prison. Number 9, the prison you live in wants you weak, sick, and divided, because weak prisoners can't climb the walls. And most important, number 10, the prison is mostly run by other prisoners. It will collapse if enough prisoners will wake up.
That's it there.
And Dr. Oz announced today that they were cutting $1.3 billion in Medicaid funding to the state of California. The reason given for this cut was that California has not been diligent enough to root out fraud in its state. California obviously disputes that fact. These funds are going to be specifically cut from hospice programs, home health care programs in the state of California. But in addition to that, the entire United States is on a 6-month freeze from any new enrollment for hospice care. So if you or someone you love needs hospice care in the next 6 months and they get Medicaid, there will be no funding in the entire United States for new cases in the next 6 months. Now, the reason California specifically was targeted for hospice care and home health care is that, according to J.D. Vance and Dr. Oz, California's rate of enrollment in these programs was higher than the national average, which made it suspicious and to them indicates fraud. My opinion is you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I am certain there is fraud and that these things need to be investigated. But to cut all services from everyone, yes, you'll stop some of the fraud, but you're also going to be stopping people who desperately need these care in some of the worst time of their life. Go love your neighbor.
That. Thank you for tuning in tonight to The Very Awakening, starring We the People, aka The Shit Show.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Good night, everybody.
We'll be back tomorrow. Also, we still have that raffle going, right? If you want to join the raffle, it's $20, 5 tickets, $5 for 1 ticket.
Thank you for the donations tonight as well. We'll see y'all tomorrow night at 7:30. Until then.
They think power's a shout in the dark of the room, a clash of the iron, a coming of doom. But I've seen a strength that don't make a sound. It stands like a mountain that won't be moved down. She walked in a fire they couldn't contain. No fragile illusion, no delicate chain. Born of a current too ancient to name, a force that existed before it was framed. She never asked for a place at the throne. She stood in her truth and it carved out its own. No need for permission, no need to be tamed. They felt it before they could speak of her name. She never became smaller to fit in the flame, never bent backward to soften her name. Through love and the loss and the weight of it all, she rose even higher, refused to be small. Not louder, not harder, not lost in the fight, just steady, unshaken. She became the light. They feared what she carried, the magic she knew. The Sather in her spirit, raw, wild and true. Not polished for comfort, not shaped to control. It lived in her breath and it moved through her soul. Even the kings had to stand and take note, not from her demands, but the truth that she wrote. A presence so real it could not be denied, a mirror of power they couldn't disguise. She held all the sorrow, the love and the ache, but none of it forced her to bend or to break. It sharpened her edges, refined every scar, turned every ending to who she now are. She passion. Through all she became, she carried it with her, but never the shame. Not louder, not colder, not lost in the fight, just rooted unbroken. She stood in her light. Soft as the wind, but as strong as the sea, holding both sides of what power can be. Not choosing between what they said she should be. She walked in the balance of duality. So how many shrink just to make it through? Trading their fire for something untrue. But what if you stood like you're meant to stand, unmoved, unshaken, exactly as planned? She never became smaller. She rose through it all. Never let life make her fade or feel small. No need to prove it, no need to explain. Her presence alone was enough to remain. Not louder, not harder, no need for the fight, just still and undeniable. She is the light. And power don't shout, it don't beg, it don't call. It stands there in silence, and it never feels small.